Nora, do you want to share something about this?
Yeah, this is part of the piece that I'm writing for the creative project. And I don't usually use any sort of like loop mentality. But after yesterday's session and after talking to one of my friends last week who writes primarily rock music, I was like, okay, I'm going to try out this thing. So I just took like four measures and repeated it over and over and over about 7 times. And part of it has a guitar solo on top. And it's got some like chanty singing going on and pianos happening and bass. So that's what the backing track is. And then I wrote some notes for the guitar solo. I think, a real guitarist could probably come up with a better solo than I can just like write offhand. Um, but I'm curious to hear how it'll sound, especially since the music or guitar is so bad.
Okay, yeah. Excited to take a listen. What? How does this work? So I just listen to it right now, or
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead and listen to it.
okay? I'm gonna go ahead and play it and listen to it right
And I can even screen share, or I can play the music out of my computer so everyone can hear it.
now. Actually, yeah, that could be cool too. Up
Yeah.
to you. Sure.
Oh, but then you know what? There'd probably be a delay between what we're hearing and what you're hearing. So maybe that's not the best way to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just take a listen to it, and then I don't know if you guys want to start talking about other stuff. I'll just kind of mute myself and listen to it.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Um, Here I'm gonna share my screen. So this is what Nora's part looks like. Can you talk about this a little bit? Like, what would you call this? Do you know what this is called?
um, I would call it a guitar solo.
I would call this a lead sheet. Do you
Oh,
remember? Do you remember
yes,
when?
that makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
Do you remember? I don't know if everyone remembers. Eddie showed us a lead sheet where it has a melody written out, and then it also has chord symbols written above. This is a really common way for someone who plays a um, melodic monophonic instrument to read music. You just because a monophonic instrument can only play one note at a time, like a singer or a saxophone player or something like that. And you'll just have the chords and the melody, and that's kind of all you need.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Well, listen to the track. Nora, is there anything, any more like notes you could kind of give about what kind of guitar solo, or is there an example of a tone you like, or even if it's like simple adjectives like something gritty or something very clean and melodic or intense?
Yeah, I'm thinking of this as like a, high fantasy kind of vibe. And very much on the like adventure, uh,
Like epic.
epic, yeah, that kind of feeling. Um, and in terms of sound quality for a guitar, I don't even know how to start describing what I want. I should have thought of some like solos that have the same quality. But I definitely wanted to sound like a guitar. Sound like a rock guitar as opposed to any other sort of guitar. That makes
Okay,
sense.
sure. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're saying like epic and rock, so immediately I'm just going to assume that you want something with distortion or overdrive. So I'm actually going to switch guitars for
Okay.
this. Ugh. There you go.
Do we know what distortion or overdrive means? Anybody? It's really crunchy.
Oh,
Has a lot of harmonics. It's really dense, kind of dissonant sounding in a way. Not dissonant.
Yeah, well, not dissonant, but like,
It's a very dense sound.
like crunchy.
Yeah.
So let me get like a kind of an overdriven tone right I did notice that you were talking about a guitar solo, something like improvised. Was that kind of what you were thinking of, or did you want those exact notes on the chart?
I think, yeah, for the second half, right? It's like 8 measures for the second half. Or no, I think it's actually 12 measures. Yeah. Anyway, for part of it, there's a flute solo happening. So I think for the second half, it has to be a little bit more rigid to that. But the beginning, where it's a little bit slower, I think it can be a little bit more. Just you can take it and run with it, basically.
Yeah.
Since you're
Okay.
not hearing
Sure.
the flute, just do whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess typically I would have like an overdrive tone. So kind of like it's a little intense. I might tone it down on the gain. Like kind of like that kind of tone. Kind of something like with a little overdrive. And then I actually have a couple of other overdrive sounds. So trying to see if I should plug those in right.
I think that this is gets a good picture of it.
Yeah,
I think
it's like good enough for now, right? Yeah, just like a little crunch. Right, just like kind of something melodic. It seems like there's not too. I mean, there's like 16th notes, so obviously you want something that's like got a little bit of technicality to it. So I wouldn't just want to just play that dry either. So what I could do is I can add like some reverb, and then maybe like some delay. I feel like delay is really nice to make something sound a little bigger than it really is. So just like a little trail at the end could be cool. And forgive me, I know I'm going through a guitar amp, but
it sounds good.
it sounds good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Here we go. Get a little delay. You know. So like that kind of vibe could be cool.
Yeah.
Is there a way? Are you literally just playing through an amp in your computer thing? That's good. Can you share your computer sound and then like play the track and then play along with it? Is there a way for you to do?
I could try. Share my computer sound. I could share my. I'll share my Apple Music or my iTunes.
If you, yeah.
I don't know if it'll line up, but we'll see. I guess. Do you guys hear this?
Yeah.
So I guess like. Kind of like something like that. I mean.
Yeah, it's I think the latency is not quite working out.
Okay. Well.
I like the chord progression.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess another thing I would ask is, do you want like a lot of harmonic? Do you want me to like really outline a lot of the harmonic things going on? So, for example, I noticed that you'll have like an A major going into a D minor, right? Mm-hmm. So that's like a prime example of where I can kind of play, you know, like kind of like outline that little resolution going into the minor chord. Or do you want something a little more like pentatonic, meaning like a little more sticking to like just one scale? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I like the first thing that you played.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just kind of outline the change, like especially at that A major going to the D minor.
Okay.
But yeah, anything else? I feel like I kind of have an idea of what you're kind of asking for right there.
Yeah. The only thing is the backing track has 4 extra measures at the beginning, so that's like a count in, I guess.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
That's good. But of course, with the lag, I don't think it's
A part of me is wondering, I don't know if I don't know if I was hearing a lag. Maybe there is a lag. Brandon, could you just try reading what she actually wrote? Do you
Yeah,
think?
sure. I'll give it a shot. Hold on. I'm an awful reader, by the way. I'm just warning you. So if I sound awful,
I think you're better than most guitar players. Though.
I don't know. We'll see.
So there's 4 measures at the beginning.
I think I'm sharing the wrong thing.
Yeah, I mean it's literally the same thing 3 times in the backing track. So you could you could start at the very beginning. It's just if you want to count in, you can wait 4 measures.
Okay, sure. So. I'm just trying to like scroll as I play this. Did that sound like right at first though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so playing that melody, and I guess like something similar to that, except with like without the awful reading.
No, it's good, and there's no latency actually.
Okay,
So
cool,
great.
cool.
Up.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Any other things you want to mention? I want to get to other people too, but you know, anything that's like glaring that you're like, oh, like for sure, I want this exact thing.
No, that was I like that. I liked both your improvisation earlier and the actual notes on the page.
Okay, great.
And it was really good to hear it in a real instrument.
Okay, yeah, totally. Yeah, sometimes when you try to do like the MIDI guitar, like it doesn't really do it justice, and it gets kind of weird. And obviously for saxophone, also MIDI saxophone is always kind of strange to listen to that. Right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, excited to record on that.
Cool. That sounds good. Who wants to share their thing next? Nathan or Tim? Tim, do you have something for Eddie to play?
Yeah, it's on the Google Drive.
Okay, cool. Let me find it. Is this Garlic Knot? Nice. And Cartier, I see that you put something up there, so cool. Okay, Eddie, I am uploading a PDF onto the chat for you. Is there a backing track, Tim, you want Eddie to play along with?
I don't have any tracks.
Cool.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. Sweet, yeah, okay.
Eddie, you're maybe a little quiet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna share my screen and check this out. Okay. Cool. Garlic Knot Cosmos. So, is there any special meaning behind the title?
No, it just sounded like a fun title.
I dig that.
Oh man, 7 sharps.
Honestly, the best.
Dang.
Yeah, that's
going in.
That's nice. Okay, cool. So I see a bunch of 7 tuplets. in 4, and I got some cool like staccato hits down there, um, with some like little clip notes in front of them. Is there like any is there like a feeling or like a certain sound that you were trying to go for with this, since it's kind of like repetitive?
Yeah, measures 1 through 12 are kind of supposed to be repetitive, and I'm kind of
Mm.
adding some texture there, but then everyone kind of does that same little staccato hit thing in 13 and 14.
Okay, so this is like in like a part in like a small part of a greater piece.
Yes.
Cool. Sweet. Yeah, I mean, I can only really imagine what the other parts sound like, but yeah, I can go ahead and give this a try. Is there like a tempo you're thinking of?
I didn't add that yet, but maybe like somewhere between 100 and 110.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Trying to think of my 7/4.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, that's hard. I don't think I've ever done that before.
Hard.
Dang.
Yeah, it's tough to internalize. Okay. Why don't you sing me the first like 4 bars? Like, can you sing and snap like kind of what you're thinking of?
Yeah. I just need to think of the polyrhythm first.
That's what we're all doing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna need to use one of the YouTube BPM things. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh gosh.
Okay. Let's see. I'll just I'll just kind of play them as triplets just to get something happening here and pretend that I am doing it right, and then we'll just
Okay.
kind of see how it sounds. Okay.
Cool.
How does yeah? I mean, I know there's like a lot of other stuff happening around that. Um, can you tell me like who else is playing around that? And, like what's going on around that line?
Yes. So let me. Okay. So the the a wood block kind of does a syncopated rhythm, and
Mm,
then you're the first person to start doing polyrhythms. Then the
okay.
marimba starts doing polyrhythms. Then the clarinet does it, and then the guitar just plays fours to go against it, and then yeah, and then we all do the whole din 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 thing.
Okay. Okay. So that's kind of cool. So you kind of have this like bubbling tension going on with this kind of quartal harmony, like these fourths are happening. Um, you've got like different textures with clarinets and tenor saxophone and guitar.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like it all kind of comes to like a quick climax here at measure 13, where that rhythm is then broken. That kind of
Okay.
sounds. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Oh, so like basically, kind of what it sounds like to me is you have like this bubbling texture, like you're creating a lot of tension with this repeated line, and then the tension is released at measure 13 with like these hits, these eighth note hits. Does that sound right?
Yes, that's right.
Cool.
Sorry, my family's talking in the background.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Um, cool. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell with just one part, but it kind of sounds to me um, like when I think of people who write like this, I think a little bit of like Steve Reich, maybe, or maybe even like um, I don't know. Do you know the pianist? What's his name? Edward Simon.
No, I do not.
He's a jazz pianist, and he does a lot of stuff like this, where he has like repeated notes or like repeated motives, and like crazy stuff is happening around them, and like one thing that I like to do if I'm doing something like this is I might have this like little idea, like you've got this idea here. So you've got that idea there. And one thing I do is I take that and I might put like a bass note under it to see what it sounds like. So I mean, it's hard to do on saxophone, but I'll kind of show you what I'm thinking. So I would do that on piano, um, but what I would do is I take that little line and I'd play different bass notes under it to see, well, what are my options, like what are my possibilities, um, and that kind of gets me like that gets me to new places, because if we're thinking about harmony, um, it's really the bass that dictates what the chord is, and you can go to some like really wild places if you have bass notes that you wouldn't normally think of. So I'll literally go at the piano and play this line and play just different bass notes to see how it changes the color, and it drastically changes the color depending on what bass note you have. And that could be something you include in the tune, or it could just be an idea you imply. um, so that's something I like to think of when I'm writing. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I can kind of see there's some like really advanced like stuff you're already thinking about, which is really cool. So nice.
I love the bass motion idea.
Me
And
too.
I have a couple of comments. How is breathing? How is your breath for this, Eddie?
Yeah, so unfortunately I do have to breathe. It's one of the things I'm trying to overcome. But yeah, in something like this, if you have a wind section or a saxophone section, you can put stagger breathe at the top, which just means you the saxophone section, you leave it up to them to coordinate who's going to breathe when. But if there's only one person playing the part, then you kind of have to take that into account. It's going to stop at some point. And you're not the only one who writes like this. I write like this for myself, which makes no sense because I know I have to breathe, but I still do it anyway. But yeah, so I think yeah, thinking of that is important. Trying to think of ways to get around that. So you said you had clarinet and guitar playing this part as well?
Yeah, they're all doing different types of rhythms.
Oh, I see. Okay. So yeah, if I'm the only person on this part, then yeah, maybe put a different breath under it. Although that might be tricky since the time is tricky. Um, like since there's kind of like these polyrhythms going on, it might be hard to jump back in once you've taken a breath. That's something that I've dealt with. That's pretty tricky. So maybe even for the tune, it might be good for the tune if you add in um, like compositional breaks, like maybe after like the fifth bar, there's like a reprieve from this line, and that gives everyone a chance to breathe, and also it's a like a compositional break, so it makes sense. So that could be something you do. Like you have this thing at 13, like maybe that comes a little bit quicker or something, um, or maybe this just goes by really fast or something like that. So you've got some options to get around that. Um, but yeah.
I have one other nitpicky kind of notation note.
Mm.
When I'm looking at measure 13, seeing an eighth note, then a quarter rest, and then another eighth note, I would be pretty confused reading that at first
Mm.
sight. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, yeah. Usually when I see an eighth note, I think it's like off the beat. Um, and so let's see, we do, oh, the second one is off the beat, one and two, but seeing it right after, seeing the quarter rest right after the eighth note is a little tricky. Um,
I would write it as two eighth rests, just so it's clear that all of these divisions, or the first thing would be a staccato quarter note or
yeah,
something.
yeah. Let's see, one and two.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just pulled this together yesterday and I didn't really have any time to edit it over yet.
That's fine.
Totally.
I just wanted to point that out from like a making it easy for the musicians.
Mm.
Okay, thanks.
I'm trying to see what else. Are there any like dynamics? Like, what are you thinking about dynamically? I know you've got this pianissimo at the beginning, so it's supposed to start off with like a small kind of like sizzling, bubbling vibe, maybe. But does it get any bigger or anything?
Well, I might like make some like dynamics where it like goes up then back down. Then I forgot to add in when it gets to measure 13, it'd be like mezzo piano or mezzo forte.
Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, when I'm doing like when I'm writing for acoustic instruments, um, you kind of have to you kind of have to think of yourself as like a recording engineer, and in that way, like I kind of think of like dynamics as like the faders, so different instruments have different intensities. So like if you have this bubbling line with tenor saxophone, clarinet, and guitar, like they're all three of them are doing different things. Um, you might have to think of who dynamically is going to stick out more. So the tenor saxophone is probably going to be louder than guitar or clarinet, depending on like what sound the guitarist is using. So maybe guitar or maybe saxophone is pianissimo, like you have here, and clarinet is like mezzo forte or forte, and guitar is whatever it is, depending. So that's something like you can do in real time. That I do is oh, like I know my flute is going to be as loud as my drums, obviously. So I'm going to make it so that the flute can be heard, and it's best to make things sound good acoustically first, and then when you record, you don't have to do as much um, editing to that sort of thing. So that's another thing that I think about dynamically.
Okay.
But let's just fix it in post.
Right. That's what we're all doing now. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I'm kind of excited to hear the finished product.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Let's move on to, let's see, what else we have. Oh, well, we have something for Brandon, right, Tim, for Garlic Knot?
Yes, and then
Or
I
would
also
you,
have another idea, like another piece that I might do.
which one? Let's pick one. Do you want to do, actually, you know what? Let's just start with Garlic Knot because we're on the,
Okay.
okay, Brandon, I put it in the chat and it says it's for acoustic guitar.
I just realized I was muted. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to. Can I share my screen? Let's see. Okay. Cool. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so acoustic guitar. Let's start with acoustic right here. Okay, so first of all, what do the three? Okay, actually, can I say something also about making these things for other musicians? Actually, and this goes to you, Nora, as well. Please give BPM, beats per minute, to your what your track is, like right from the get go. I can't tell you how many times I've done a recording for someone, um, and I wasn't given like a BPM or anything, and I tried to kind of record it, and then just kind of makes it really complicated because even just one quarter note off or one beat off, I mean, will kind of screw with the recording, and then you got to start getting into like this hairy business of trying to like quantize or like trying to like match it up. It gets really complicated. So I feel like right from the get go, if you can give a BPM, like a specific number, that's going to make your life way easier. I mean, for the musician, it'll be easier also, but more for you, I think your life would be a lot easier also. So just heads up. It's for everyone. And Nora, I got to get that BPM from you as well.
Oh, mine had one. It's 95. It's
Oh, it did? Okay,
I think
I'm
it's
sorry.
on your score as well. That's fine.
I think you're right. Sorry. So yeah, just in general for everyone, cool. So anyways, that being said, so the three marks. What exactly are you going for that? Is that just kind of like a
Yeah,
something
it's
like
just
that?
tremolo. It doesn't really have to
Tremolo.
be a certain value.
Okay. So just like
Yeah.
it's kind of like something soft, and then the fifth bar we go up to mezzo forte. Is it cool if I slow down my tremolo there to hit that chord accurately? Would that be cool with you?
Yeah, that's just great.
Okay, and then we got. Let's see. Is that the chord you're going for?
Yes.
Am I? So. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Kind of like that.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Any like notes? Something like really specific you want, or I'm assuming this is kind of like a part that'll be like accompanying something else, or it's just like a more of an auxiliary part, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Seems pretty clear to me. Are you cool with that the phrasing? So, oops. So obviously I'll honor the accents there as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty clear to me. Anything on how you feel about it? You're cool with it?
I really like it. Thanks for playing
Yeah,
it.
no problem.
Cool. Easier than 7 polyrhythms.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at, maybe this will give you a challenge. This is Tim's other thing. It's a guitar quintet. So this is also for you, Brandon.
Okay.
And then after this, we'll look at Cartier's. Cartier, while Brandon is looking at this, can you share a little bit about like who you want to check out your track, or do you want Eddie? Do you want sax on it or guitar?
We can give the sax some love.
Cool. Eddie, I'm putting Cartier's track in the chat.
Cool, thanks.
Okay, so is it? Oh, should I start talking? I'm sorry about this.
Take it away.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So whose track am I looking at? Tim. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see. Okay, so there's some things that I have questions about. So like, do you want this to be like legato, or do you want the notes to like kind of bleed together, or
Um, I think it would be cool if they could like blend together. Like you don't have to stress about it really. Like if you're doing it like one note that you just played on the same string, like don't really worry about it.
okay. Also, uh, from the can you give me like a BPM you're thinking for the last track? I'm just gonna write down these notes real quick.
Um, let's see. Look it up real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I would say around like 95.
95 on that last one.
Yeah.
Okay, and then on this quintet number one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, the transforming of the rain. Okay. And this one, what's the BPM you would think?
95 for right now.
90. Okay, so both 95.
Wait for
Oh, also the last track. I'm
for the
sorry.
garlic knot one is 105.
105. Okay. Yeah, and I'm sure you're still like developing this track. I don't mean to rush you. Sorry. I know
No.
that's always a drag, but cool. Okay, so let's see. So 95. That's like let me take a listen. Let me set that my metronome. Daga 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 daga, right? Daga daga daga. So, do you want kind of like that?
Yeah, that
I got
sounds
it.
great.
I just kind of have to shed that. Or here's kind of a cool thing about acoustic guitar is, so I can kind of try to utilize this capo and get a little more of a flowy effect, more legato, so it would sound a little more like. You kind of hear the difference.
Yeah, how do I notate that?
I don't know. I guess like you could just kind of write it like legato, or if you want. The thing that's cool about acoustic guitar is you can allow strings to kind of bleed through as long as they're not like clusters. So if you're not doing like for example like E D C B, that would be really hard. But if you're doing like an arpeggio, like that's kind of a cool thing you can do with guitar.
Okay.
Maybe allow it to bleed through, or Eric, do you have any notes on like how to notate that? Like when you play like a long ringing chord or something?
Yeah, right. I mean, my first thought was you could put capo 4. Is that what it's on?
Yeah, well, capo 3, but
Capo 3.
yeah,
But I feel like writing out a specific note for a guitar, I feel like this is an instrument that you really need to know how it's played. And then when the guitar player puts on capo 3 and they start figuring out the notes, to be like, oh, this is like the fingering they intended. This is why it's on capo 3. There's a bit, I don't know if you get this with sight reading, Tim, but sometimes when I'm sight reading something, I'm like, why are they saying that? And then as I play it, I'm like, oh, they put the fingers there for this reason, and now I know it's supposed to be played this way. I feel like putting capo 3, for example, would kind of let the guitar player know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would help at least. I don't know.
yeah. I think that's cool. So this part is really cool, really beautiful. You know, it's like this major chord, just this this arpeggio. What is this, like an E flat major arpeggio, kind of going down, with like some notes in between. like a what is that, like E flat major 7 chord, right? So the thing about acoustic guitar, and this goes for everyone, if anyone else has acoustic guitar, is when you put like individual notes kind of like this, you got to remember that the acoustic guitar is like a very percussive instrument. And so when you write something like this that has a lot of notes, it's going to sound very percussive. Like, for example, like you guys know like a marimba or like a xylophone. It's like if you played it on a piano without the sustain pedal, right? It would be like da 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 da. And if that's what you're going for, that's cool. But I feel like these are some things to keep in mind. So when a guitar player sees this playing this on acoustic guitar, I feel like it's just going to be like a bit staccato on the staccato side, I guess.
Okay.
Just by nature. So yeah, but cool. Anything else?
I think that's it for me.
Cool. All right, I feel good about it.
I have a note before you close it, Brandon.
Okay.
This might be an example of, I don't know how you feel, anyone else looking at this. I start going into a trance when I see so many repetitive cascading 16th notes. And
Oh yeah.
I actually, at first glance, I would just assume that this is the same bar repeated however many times. And this might be an example where I would chunk these into, like, here's the first measure, and then have like 8 bars of those repeats where they're like repeat what the first measure did 7 more times. And then it goes to the next chunk, or whenever the notes actually change. Because if I was reading this, I would start getting in a trance. And if there was some part at like measure 11 where you actually changed one note, that would probably go past me, because I'd probably get in this like, you know, kind of trancey mode. So when you get really repetitive things like that, I think that's kind of helpful.
Okay.
Sounds nice though, and you sound
Really?
good.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I'm excited to. I feel like the ideas are kind of vague, so I'm excited to like hear what everything sounds like together. So yeah,
Cool.
pretty
Yeah.
cool, man.
Cool. Okay. Eddie, do you get the track?
Yeah, I got it.
Cool. Cartier, do you want to talk a little bit about it, what you're looking for?
This throws let's see here. Just doing arpeggiated scales. Grounded a little bit. Mainly I would say still clashing with it, like me right in the middle of what's going on. I kind of play with the arpeggiator a bit with it, almost like harmony with the arpeggiator. Just to give it a little extra.
You said you're playing around with like harmony and like arpeggios.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh wait, I think this might not be an audio file.
I thought it was MP3, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Here, let's see. Oh, you know what? I think I downloaded it literally right as it was being put up.
Oh, I see.
Let's see. Oh no, it's not. Cartier, it says it's like a data format.
That's strange. Let me try to upload that. That's
Yeah.
really strange.
Okay, well, keep going on, or keep messing around with that. I'm gonna get Nathan's thing going. This is so Nathan, you sent a Word document.
Yeah, I mean, it's only one chord, so I didn't feel it was quite necessary to put a lead sheet.
What's
But
what's the YouTube video?
It's a link to Collective Soul Shine.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just kind of want that style of solo, really.
Cool. Okay, I'll put.
Huh.
Give me.
That's
Give me.
strange. I just clicked it on mine and it's working.
It. Here, Brandon, in the chat, I put the YouTube link, and it will be. So maybe see if you can try to match that guitar tone a little bit. Yeah, Cartier. I don't know. I'm downloading it, and it's sort of like a funky file. It's like a. Oh wait, you know what? Something weird is happening. I think that you did it right. What the heck? What the heck? When I download it, what the heck? I'm sorry, everyone. 1 second.
I could also try to like send it just by email or something.
Yeah, can you try emailing it to me?
Yeah.
Because it should work. I think me downloading it from Google Drive for some reason isn't working. I have no idea why. Let me know when you send it.
All right, it should be sent.
Okay. What on earth is this? Yeah, you're sending it totally fine. I do not know. Jeez. I'm so sorry, Eddie. Here. I typed to you, Eddie. Can you just type me back your email address? My computer is like converting things weirdly. I don't know. All right, I just emailed it to you.
So weird. I also downloaded it as like a data file.
Okay, but it's weird because if you click on it in the Gmail, it will actually play it.
Oh, I didn't try that. Let me try that.
It should work. It looks like maybe
Oh
Randall.
yeah, it's playing fine.
I know. I don't know why. When I was downloading it, turns it into a data file. I had no idea.
Well, I guess maybe what I could do is I could share my screen and then just play it from Gmail or whatever from the email.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Okay. Cool. Okay. All right, I'm gonna share my screen real quick. And let's see here. Okay. So here it is. I'm just gonna pause it real quick. Yeah, this sounds awesome. Sorry, your name is Cartier. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, this sounds amazing. I love the production on this. Everything sounds really good and really crisp. So what are your what are what are your thoughts? How are you hearing saxophone on this? Just like improvisation or
Well, I love jazz fusion, so if you can even find the sweet spot in that and kind of play along with some of the stuff that's going on with it, improv it, or just yeah, why not improv it? Why not?
okay, cool.
As long as
Yeah,
it's in the confines of it, I left it kind of open for like a sax player or a guitar player to have fun with it.
okay, totally. Yeah, I dig that. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could show you some things I would normally do on a tune like this. So usually when people send me charts or tracks like this, depending on like how it is, I kind of do like one of three things. I either just like take a solo on it, or I like add some parts to it, or I add some parts and some like effects processing or something. Um, if it's kind of appropriate. But yeah, I can kind of just like play through this. I wonder if you guys will be able to hear both at the same time.
We can hear.
Like this, I would do like, I don't know, I'd probably like take a solo or, you know, come up with some sort of like harmonies, because you got this cool like evolving texture that's going on around this. Yeah, usually what I would do is I'd try to play around and see what kind of fits best in the tune. Like as like if someone sends me a track like this, I'm kind of trying to think as a composer as well. Like what does this need? What does the saxophone have to offer? And even though the saxophone is a single line instrument, there's a lot of things you can ask for from a saxophonist. Like Brandon was saying the other day, sometimes it's good to say like, oh, I want this vibe from like this saxophone player or that saxophone player. Like I want like a Michael Brecker thing or like a Chris Potter thing or something like that, and that kind of immediately puts us in that headspace. And so that kind of like drastically can change like what the person does.
Okay, I feel it. So kind of like a Wayne Shorter vibe then.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm already thinking more melodic,
Yeah,
fluid, which is absolutely different than what I just did. I kind of just played around in the 16th note grid, and then also with the saxophone you can be very expressive. You can bend notes and sort of wail and shout and scream and do all sorts of things like that, which kind of drastically change the texture as well. I'm gonna play just a little bit more, but try to change up the vibe completely differently and see if I can make something even different.
okay, cool.
Sounding amazing.
vibe is a lot different. You know, I'm using like more false fingerings and like extended techniques and extending the range of the horn, going to the very top of the range, bending notes and squealing and doing all sorts of things. And you can get that out of a saxophone player with just a couple of descriptor words. You know, when you said Wayne Shorter, I was thinking, okay, try to build a melody, try to try to put more like emotional content in there. That's like something he's very known for. But yeah, one thing that my teacher always asks with pieces is where's the piece going? So where would you like this to go? Do you know?
Actually, just doing the melodic stuff. I just hit certain keys. Like that was actually nice playing with the song because it's just like, all right, it was just like a song for honestly just for someone to sing over it, pretty much, not their head too. But if a saxophone player wanted to come in and kind of slay it, they can do a whole bunch of lead lines and harmonies with it. But I was thinking, and Wayne happens to be one of my favorite saxophone players, and he does play with harmonies and melodies a lot. I'm like, I heard you figuring it out too. Like, oh, that sounds nice. So
Yeah.
it's kind of for like creative expression to kind of, if you catch the melodic vibe, kind of go with it. If I could play around with it.
So you're trying to feature someone.
Yeah.
Nice.
Feature them, bring the best them out of them. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the track is pretty much done. But like, oh, it's actually pretty bomb on this track.
Nice. Yeah.
Cardia, one thing. So Cardia obviously is an amazing producer. Would you leave if Eddie blew over this? Would you leave it as it is, or would you like chop it up? Like, would you want him to like play a few times over it and like pick different pieces that you want to kind of put together, or are you looking for a more like one live take kind of thing? Because there's a lot you can do if you recorded over this that you could do a lot of editing.
I could, but I think a live take would be cool. I think he would catch the vibe,
Cool.
A live take would just be cool. And like, hey, it lets that creative freedom happen instead of like stifle it to this one section. Like, hey, like really go in, really catch it.
Cool.
Compliment the music.
Yeah, I think usually in that sort of context, you'll probably get a lot of different results from different saxophone players since everyone is different. Which it sounds like that's kind of what you've accounted for. I think if you know that, like, if you give someone kind of like like an open landscape to kind of do whatever they want, some people will take that very differently. Someone might build a whole narrative over this, whereas someone else might just kind of noodle around or maybe play something sparse or something like that. So I think that's something just to like keep in mind. And then also too, like, depending on like who you give it to, like, I know usually if I'm getting sent stuff, I usually like to do some production as well, just because I like to have control over my sound. And so I don't always like to put just a clean saxophone sound. If it's something electronic, I might put like a harmonizer on there, or some play with the compression a little bit or something weird. So that's something that, like, if you know your saxophone player can do that, that might be something you ask for, or something like that. Who knows?
Right. Because the harmonizer would be pretty dope on that, actually.
Yeah.
Harmonies and melodies would be dope on that.
Cool. Well, yeah, it sounds amazing. I'm excited to blow over that some more and see what we can do with it.
Thanks for being on it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. That was pretty fun. Sounds really great. Okay, I think it's getting pretty late, at least in Michigan and in Minnesota as well. So let's do Nathan's, and then I think we'll wrap it up in about 15 minutes. Brandon, did you get a chance to check out the tone?
Yeah, totally. So I mean, just like pretty basic rock tone. So right now I just kind of have like, I'm playing an SG, which is kind of perfect. So I just kind of, you know, and it's just like a very stereotypical rock tone. Like probably like play some kind of stock rock licks, right? You know, maybe like just like little tricks here and there like that, but nothing too like shreddy like that. But yeah, and then I feel like I got a pretty nice tone. So that's dry. Also, I feel like it's like good to. I think in general for everyone, I would rather send you like some drier, meaning like less like reverb and delay and stuff like that, because you know, it's always nice to have like kind of a dry stem, like just whatever the guitar thing I send you, and then for you to kind of manipulate the way you want. That way you have more control versus if I send you something that has like, that's like very wet with a lot of reverb or something like that, then you can't really take that out, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, is that kind of your vibe though? Just kind of like straight up kind of crunchy and
crunchy, and I put the lyrics in there just for the like first two verses for kind of like a mood. I guess.
Do you mind if can I copy and paste them into the chat? Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. And by the way, a stem, for everyone who doesn't know, a stem is the term for isolated audio track. So if you have like guitar and drums and bass, if someone's like, can you send me the stems? Those would be 3 separate files with the drums and the bass and the guitar. So you can just listen to the guitar track. That's what a stem is. Okay, I'm putting the lyrics in here. Nathan, I think it'd be a good idea to play and sing what you have so far. So Brandon can just hear.
Can you hear this all right?
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, this isn't going to be the best performance ever, but.
Cool, man. Yeah, I like it. Very cool. Yeah, you wrote that?
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Great melody, and I just think it's a really tasteful song, and I think the lyrics are very thoughtful. I really enjoy listening to you play it. I think, yeah. I mean, I feel like the lyrics are like, you know, you're kind of in you're kind of in a mood, right? Like, and it's like kind of like somber in a way. Oh no, it's not just kind of somber.
Yeah,
it's like it's like sad, you know.
Like losing touch with reality or whatever.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe something a little more melodic and beautiful would be nice for a guitar solo, you know. So like that track you play. And here's actually another cool thing, real quick. I know we don't want to go too late, but you kind of want more like a '90s vibe. That's actually another thing that people don't think about. Like when you say like guitar solo, like a Collective Soul, I was immediately thinking like '90s. And there's a lot more like kind of rock licks. Like a little more blatantly rock, kind of like when I think of like Pearl Jam and stuff like that, like grunge music,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But sometimes like another vibe could be like, you know, like I feel like that is something I'd hear in like 2000s versus I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you kind of feel? Are you feeling like you want more like kind of a little more of a rock solo?
Yeah, something kind of just like steady over like G.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would probably.
Just kind of like
Totally. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's probably what I would literally do. And what I feel like would be a cool thing to do is whenever, especially when you ask someone to just improvise, like a short solo, maybe I'll give you like 2 or 3 takes, and then you can just choose the solo that you like more.
yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, cool. That's
I'm gonna jump in here. Nathan, do you want Brandon to play rhythm guitar or solo or kind of all of it or any of it? What were you thinking?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I have enough time to get both, like recording time.
Okay, well,
the whole song is rhythm guitar.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind laying down some rhythm guitar if there's no chart to it though. Do you have a chart?
I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't yet.
Yeah, so I think like in this scenario, of course it's like totally reasonable to actually I don't know, Eric, is that okay? I don't know if that's like against like
what
if I could if I'm supposed to like lay down rhythm guitar as well as lead guitar, that's okay, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, then totally. Of course I'd be totally cool with that, and that happens. You know, that's kind of what guitar player doing sessions are for. But it would be very helpful. If you want me to play a whole form, it would be nice to have a chart.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I think just in general.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, so again, like for everyone, like it's not you don't have to, especially in like the pop world. This is like kind of going towards like rock and pop, and I guess I'm sure a lot of you would imagine like unless it's like a TV score or something, like a lot of these rock bands, like they're not really going to give you a chart. They're just going to be like, hey, learn the song and lay down some guitar. But I will say when I do get a chart with like chords for recording and they want me to record from top to bottom, it's really nice. So you don't see it that much, but I always appreciate it when I get it. So
everyone, yeah, make a chord chart, Nathan. I think that'd be great.
Totally.
That would be nice.
Cool. I'm wondering if there's anything left.
One more thing, Nathan. Can you give me a BPM for that also?
Oh yeah. I put it in the title of the.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh, that's my bad. It's 124.
100, yeah, 124.
Great.
Okay. So if you didn't bring anything tonight, hopefully you learned something from watching other people have Eddie and Brandon play their stuff. And you can still write for these dudes. Please do. I mean, I wish I was one of you so I could do that. So hopefully you all take the opportunity here. Are there any last minute questions for either of them? Randall has a question. Oh, just waving. I think you're muted.
Oh, I'm muted.
I'm just waving. Hello. That's it.
All right. I mean, everyone say thank you then, because I think they did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Can't wait to record on these. Yeah, you guys got some really cool ideas.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
All right. Tomorrow, yeah, whoever has lessons, you'll have lessons. Otherwise, we'll meet here at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Could I ask a couple of questions? Who is here still? I can't quite. Oh, here we go. I've got Joe, Nathan, Nora, AJ, Max, Sam, Cartier. I'm missing.
Tim left. Eddie
Tim-
and Brandon, you guys can go. You don't have to.
Thank you, guys.
This will be.
I will.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Brandon.
It is.
What I would say is we need to know, I need to know what instruments you're going to use for your acoustic tracks so that I can let the musicians know who needs to be working. So we have to have, I'll get a hold of Tim, and who else are we talking about? Tim and
Xander.
Cartier as well.
Cartier's
No,
here.
Cartier's here. Xander and Tim. Are those the only two missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. Tim and Xander. I'll let them know in an email. But just take a second, and if you can't tell me right now, you notice how I'm taking a beat, 2, 3. If you can't tell me right now, I would love to have you email me within half an hour. So sometime in the next half hour, pick what instruments you think you're going to use for your recording, because I have to make sure that people are available